someone said to me, you have a youth subcommittee on the campaign, and there's a youth association for Don Valley East and Don Valley North. What about a seniors association? And I always say a riding association at this point doesn't need a seniors association. The riding association is full of seniors. It is therefore the seniors association. What we need is to be bringing in the millennial generation, the 25s to 35s, and the generation that follows them. Whether we like it or not, that is the driving force in politics right now, and it's also the driving force in building any community. That bulge is so significant that whatever they're doing is what we have to be a step ahead of in our policy planning. So we need them in the room. These are my council colleagues in municipal politics tend to forget all the time, and they really only need to look in their own basements to find them. Most of us are in our 50s and have millennials at home, and so I always say to them, they're 25 to 35. They're making babies. They are right now making the next demographic bulge. So we should have been planning better for millennials, and we didn't, and that's why we now have a housing crisis. This needs to be a lesson. They are making children now that we need to provide childcare to, we need to provide a quality education to, and we need to be ready for them when they need houses. Because if we're making the millennials the healthiest generation yet, they're all going to live to be 100, and we better figure out right now where those children that they're creating are going to live. My grandchildren are now 12 and 11 and 6. My daughter is one of the earliest millennials, being born in 86, and she was a young mom. So I kind of have this advance notice. Today at my levee, I ran into an old friend from the school board, and he's just become a grandparent. He said, I've joined the club. Then I went down the room a little bit, and I ran into somebody else, and he said, I'm sorry I didn't come to the Christmas party. My daughter had a baby. The babies are being born right now that we should be building policy and plans for. And so it's just like when I got into politics and I said, I need to fix the whole community so that it will work for my children. Now I'm looking at, we need to really be making Ontario policy that suits my grandchildren and all the babies that were born in the last month. Politics needs to play the long game, not just figure out how will we get elected 4 years from now. And I'm getting in to bring that sense back to the party. I know Kathleen's already started doing it. I want to join her in that work.
And do you think it's something that's being talked about, or do you think it's now being brought to the forefront?
It hasn't been talked about nearly enough. I bring it up all the time, and I will keep bringing it up until I get to the point where it's so old hat that I don't look around as I'm making a joke about, hey, it's baby making time if you're a millennial. And there's always someone 50 or 60 who will go like this, millennial to them was some sort of pop culture derogatory term. No, it's a real demographic challenge that we have to meet. And until they stop giving me the eyebrows, I'm going to keep talking about it. Because those eyebrows mean to me that there isn't a real awareness and a wrapping of people's heads around the assignment. And so I'm just going to keep talking about it until everybody's on the assignment.
And that sort of stigma goes away. Oh, those millennials, those darn millennials.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I lived through this because I'm on the very tail end of the baby boomers. My oldest sister is a classic baby boomer, and as the youngest in my family, I just came a year or two after what is considered to be that bulge. But